Every time I've tried to search up a auth tutorial on YouTube that uses Golang, I am not able to find a straightforward answer. So in this video, I'm going to introduce you to a package called Goth or Gothic by Mark Bates. It is a Golang specific package that makes handling OAuth and just all authorization, authentication for your Golang application just so easy. Do you want your users to log in with Google or Discord or GitHub or anything? This is the package for you. It makes it a breeze. All you need are 3 separate routes, and I'm going to show you how to set all of that up on a front end as well. So make sure you stay until the end to the whole tutorial. So the package I'm talking about today, which is going to be the highlight and center point of this video, is Goth by Mark Bates. It is on GitHub, 4.4 thousand stars, and it's just a great tool. Goth, multi-provider authentication for Go. Package Goth provides a simple, clean, and idiomatic way to write authentication packages for Go web applications. And you can see here all the support providers. I mean, they literally have everything: GitHub, Eve Online, Okta, Salesforce, Shopify, SoundCloud. It has everything basically. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do is head on over to console.cloud.google.com, go to your API library. I'm going to create a new credentials application, an OAuth client ID. As you can see, I have a couple already that I'm going to use for this demonstration because this sets you up. It gives you the client ID and secret that allows Google to give the token for the handshake on your backend application. There's a way to create and reroute the callback to localhost 2000 or wherever your server is hosted. Again, this is server-side handling, so you want it to be where your server is to hit the endpoint. I'm going to show you to set that up on the back end right now, but make sure you get the accurate ANV keys from Google to set this up because we're going to use Google in this example. All right, so now that you got your keys ready, we're going to go ahead and spin up a new project using Go Blueprint Create. The name of this app is going to be called GoAuth. We are going to use Cheat. That's just my preference. It doesn't really matter what DB you're going to use, but let's go ahead and choose Postgres for this example. Okay, cool. So we're going to CD into GoAuth. I'm going to open up this project, and there you go. Now we have a completely spun up Go application ready for us to use. All right, now we have that set up. We're going to have to actually install our Goth package here. So you're going to do a go get github.com/markbates/goth. Just press enter, and there you go. It adds the package for us. It adds an additional Google protobuf, everything it needs to run successfully. There's the OAuth 2 package as well. And one more is we're going to need the GitHub Gorilla session. So go ahead and do go get github.com/gorilla/session. So after we installed Gorilla Sessions, we basically have everything we need to start coding and actually getting this to run. But just before we start, I want to share one thing, and this should be the go-to for everything. For Goth, it actually has an example folder. It has one file called main.go that's going to list everything you need to actually organize and run this with any provider that you want. Like I said earlier, I'm going to do this with Google, but you can choose literally any single provider you want. And if you ever get lost, if this video is not clear, go to the documentation, go to the example. It has it all here for you. All right, so the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to create a new package called auth. I'm going to go and create a new auth.go file. Just going to go package auth, and this is basically going to instantiate our Gothic store. And since it's a global variable, a global store, once we define it in our auth file here, auth.go file, and we instantiate it in our main.go file over in cmd/API right here, we can basically use it throughout our application code. All right, so let's go ahead and start with our package auth file here. The first thing we're going to do is create a few constants here. We're going to do a key. So this is a signing key. You can do a random string. Make it definitely more secure than random string. Our max age is going to be 8640 times 30. I think this is 30 days if I'm not mistaken. And then we're going to do an is prod variable, which basically declares is this a production or is this still in development? And then we're going to create a new function called func new auth, and this is going to be the constructor or what's going to get instantiated for our Gothic store. First thing, we're going to load up our go.env, our environment variable. So go load if error does not equal nil. We're going to do log fatal error loading.env file. Next, I'm going to declare my Google client ID, os.getEnv, Google client ID. I'm going to copy this and just put Google secret, and then Google client secret. All right, cool. So all we've done so far is load our secrets from our .env file using go.env. Next up, we're actually going to declare this store exactly how it's written in the documentation. We're going to do sessions from Gorilla sessions, and we're going to do new cookie store. It's going to take byte of key, our hashing key, which is back on line 14 over here. Now that we have our store, which is just from Gorilla sessions, all we're going to do now is bring in our Gothic package here. So Gothic store. And then here, we're actually going to provide the list of providers that we want our application to accept OAuth connections. In this example, we're going to use Google. So we're going to do goth.use providers. And we're going to paste in our google.new with our Google client ID, our Google client secret, and the callback for our redirect. And this has to be the exact same thing when you create it in your Google client API page, which I showed at the beginning of this video. All right, so now that we have our providers running in Gothic and we're going to instantiate it with our new auth in our main.go file, the next thing that we need to do is actually grab these 3 routes from the examples from main.go from the Goth repository. What these 3 are responsible for is actually the callback that triggers the handshake between Goth and the OAuth provider or whatever provider you choose to use. And then obviously this is the logout path here. Now, because I'm using Chi as a middleware, when I ran my project at the beginning with Go Blueprint, there's going to be something that you're going to need to include if you want to use Chi in your project. The example they have here simply uses templating. So they just write HTML and they generate from their server. I want to use Chi as just my backend router in Go, and then I'm going to spin up a Vite React app on the front end. All right, so let's go ahead and write this one out. So I'm going to write out the main callback function, but the other ones I'm just going to paste in just to save time here. We're going to call our first function get auth callback function. Doesn't really matter what you name it. It's going to take our classic HTTP response writer and our HTTP request. And then we're going to just basically copy this block of code here from the examples. We're going to paste it here and change this up here because we don't have res and request. We have W and R. And then all we're going to do is fmt.print line user, and this will give us our user information. But I want to give you guys a little bit more than just that. Like I said earlier, this is actually not going to work if you use Chi, if you spun up your project using Go Blueprint. It's not just Chi. It's not going to work with Jin. It's not going to work with any of these middleware packages because the way the context is passed and the way Goth looks, you actually have to do a little bit of tuning. So the first thing you want to do is create a variable called provider. You're going to do chi.url param r and then provider. So basically what this is going to look for the URL parameter of provider. If this could be anything you want to be Google, could be whatever. I'll show you how we define it in the routes above. But basically this can be a placeholder for whatever that provider you choose to use. So I'll show you what I mean if you do an R get, right? And then you pass in the route for where this provider callback is going to live. It's going to be /auth/provider/callback. And then the function is going to be the get callback auth function. So basically now this factor here, this value here, this you don't have to change. Whether you change from Google or Discord or whatever provider, you can leave this the way it is. However, we need to create this provider variable to pull in that provider link from our actual URL parameter. And now this is not done. We actually need to modify our R variable, our HTTP request pointer, because this needs to be passed into what this provider variable is. And we can do that with r.with context with value, context background, or if you use an existing background, you can use that. That's fine. And here we can pass in provider, and the last one will be provider. Okay, awesome. So if you use this, this will work, but there's one more thing I want to include. Whenever you do get auth callback function, you want to redirect your user. You don't want them to just stay at that page because nothing is going to happen. You always want to redirect them back to the route or whatever page you want the user to go to after they successfully log in. And you can do that easily with the HTTP redirect method. So WR, and then this path, localhost, and then the path that you want to redirect to, HTTP localhost 5173. This is the default port that Vite spins up on. And then you can do HTTP status found. And now we're going to go back to our example here, and we're just going to basically copy and paste the logout function and the auth provider function as well. Now we are almost done, but let's go back to our main.go where we have to instantiate Gothic. So up here, I want you to go bring in the packet, our internal package which we created earlier. So internal auth, and then here, what we're going to do is auth.get new auth, and that's it. If you follow this, remember this just pulls in our environment variable, creates our store from the sessions, Gorilla sessions new cookie store, and then puts it into our Gothic store like so, and give it our list of providers which our application will accept. All right, so we have gone through what the magic of GoAuth or Goth is going to be. I've explained a little bit of authentication. I've even showed you how to basically spin up an application with auth here, but now I want to show you how you can actually use this with a front end. We're going to quickly spin up a TypeScript React project. We're going to modify it just a teeny weeny bit because we're Golang developers, not JavaScript or TypeScript developers, but I'm going to show you this end-to-end flow, so stick around right now till the end. Okay, so I'm back in my application. You can see here I didn't do anything behind the scenes. It's the exact same. Everything runs as expected, but now we're going to use Vite, which if you haven't heard of, it is this tool that spins up front-end projects using React. You can choose what language if you want to use React server components. It's really neat. It's pretty lightweight. You know, if you don't need something like Next, you just want a front end to do front end things and you hook it up to a backend, I think this is really the most vital option to use. So go back, we're going to create the npm create vite at latest command. After you download it, we're going to call our project just our client, and here you can pick React, Preact, Lit, whatever. I'm going to use React. We're going to use TypeScript, not server, not SWC, whatever that was. And I'm going to follow the instructions. We're going to cd into our client. We're going to run npm install, and next we're going to run npm run dev. And you can see here 5173, that's the port which we actually called for a redirect after a successful login. And if you just click this, there you go, we have a Vite app ready to go. All right, so now let's quickly just jump on over to React, our Vite app here, and we just have to modify it. We have to just add a login function and a log out function. Log in with Google. If we go back to our Vite app, you can see here we get our login with Google prompt like so. All right, now before we take this out for one spin, we know here we have one terminal with our Vite app. Now in this second terminal, all we have to do is click make run. This is going to launch our application on our port, which is defined in a .env file. I have set mine for the purpose of this to port 3000. Again, Alex, you better edit these out. Okay, so now our application, our backend is running on port 3000, while our front end is running on port 5173. And if I hop on over back to our local Vite app, it's now private and incognito because I don't want you guys to see my emails. But if you log in with Google, you can see you can type in our email or phone number. It's going to prompt me to put in my password. Click enter. So now we have logged in, but we can't really see it. How do we know it worked? Well, if you remember back in our routes.go file here, where we actually start the get auth callback function, we actually have a line here of printing the user after we complete the user auth from Gothic. And if we open up our terminal, we'll look at what we have. We have the entire user struct from Gothic and from Google. More importantly, we have our email, we have the ID, we have the picture, we have a bunch of information, we have the expiry of the token. All of that information is available to us to consume through Gothic. You can see the expiry of my refresh token. Everything here is available to be used, and this is how you actually use and structure OAuth handling using Gothic. Now have this struct, and I'll show you where you can find more information about this. You can see here over at pkg.go.dev in the Mark Bates Goth, you can see here that this user struct contains information common amongst most OAuth and OAuth 2 providers. You can see here the ID token, refresh token, access token, location, avatar, user ID. Everything you need is going to be available in this user struct, which I printed in the terminal here below. All right, so that was the entire breakdown, the entire tutorial from start to finish of how you can literally spin up a project using Go Blueprint. You can handle auth using GoAuth, and you can spin up a React front end using Vite to literally have users sign in to your application using Google or any other provider. We use Google in this example because it's probably the most common. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what video, what Go tutorial, Go breakdown, Go anything, or any video would you like to see me do next time. But I gotta leave you guys off with one thing, and that's just you gotta power it.